Welcome back everybody to another War of the Visions video. Today we're going to do the first ever Should Mysida gaming pull where you help me decide which unit I should pull for. So I pulled for Delita in the Final Fantasy Tactics banner, and it was just so easy to get his shards that I am actually way ahead on Visior compared to where I thought I would be. And I did say I was actually going to spend if I needed to, and I didn't have to spend at all. So I have some money. I have about 20k Visior, and I'm trying to figure out whether I should actually go ahead and go pull for Agrius, or maybe I should pull for Iridia. So we're going to go over the pros and cons and take a look at my roster, and then I need everyone in the comment section to help me decide. So before we weigh these two units against each other, we have to actually look at what my roster looks like, because this game is pretty subjective in terms of needs. You can't just pull the best unit, because if your team composition isn't any good, then you might still be in trouble. So first we'll take a look at all the different units I have, and then we'll take a look at these two units specifically. So for my tanks, I have a physical tank in Mont. He is level 99 and maxed. I have a magical tank in the works in Dario, and he's actually just level 79 now, and you can see he's still quite a ways away from LB4. I would consider him to be PvP ready at LB4 when he can equip a TMR and has some extra stats, and then I would be happy to try to use him in both guild battle and in arena PvP. I also have Ramza, who I've been using as a tank pretty much since I pulled him. He's also just an amazing support unit, and I did want to include him on this slide because I primarily use him as a tank with Taunting Spell and then the Leonis Castle card, and he's served me quite well in that regard. He's always been good with Ayaka in a sustain team, and I'm definitely very happy with that, but it would be really nice to get a dedicated tank in that slot, and then Ramza could then be a little more offensive with a different card setup, and I could even go 2 DPS and a tank, or have still go sustain and kind of switch around my composition. So this is where I'm looking at for tanks, and you can definitely see right away that there is no dedicated UR tank, although I do think that these two options here are very good for MRs, but it's definitely an area of need. As for healers, I'm just set. I've got Ayaka fully maxed, so I'm just, there's no issues here. This is not something you could add to very easily if you wanted to. There's really just Ayaka, so we don't have to worry about that. In terms of magic attackers, I have a maxed Medina, so that's definitely a very powerful option, although I do need to work on her staff. And I also have a level 89 Mashri, and you can see that she's over halfway to the final limit break there to be level 99. And Mashri actually has a very high magic power. She can do some damage, but her lack of move and her wonky AI makes her very difficult to use in guild battles, where my guild is quite competitive, and I just couldn't risk using her there. So she's not viable for me in that regard, but she is viable in arena PvP as far as I'm concerned for my own uses. So I do have 2 magic attackers, but I do view this as an area I could improve on. I have a really hard time using Medina because of the all-in style that she possesses, where she basically, if she gets forward first and bombs your opponent, you can win, but she can also just get one shot just as easily and you can lose, and I really don't like playing that way. I know that there's people that use her correctly and do a lot of practice with her, but I would like to get a mage that is a little bit tankier. I actually have a ton of gunners, so you all know if you've watched my channel for a while that I've got a maxed Ryu, who I'm a huge fan of. I also got my Mustadio to level 89 during this event, and I'm going to leave him there to save the Visior, but he's totally usable at 89. Not that I necessarily use him in guild battles, but I would use him in PvP and arena. And then I've been working on Frederica because the friend shop shards are just too good to pass up. And she's actually not level 79, but she could be. I just have to level her up, and I think I need another awakening as well. But for all intents and purposes, if I decided to go in on her, I could build her into my team. But that's not really what this video is about. It's just to show you that as for gunners, I'm pretty set. So that's definitely not an area of need for this account. And then finally, I'm going to talk about bruisers and glass cannons. So I have the best Dragoon. I got Victoria, and she is absolutely amazing. She can one-shot so many units. I use her all the time, and she's just irreplaceable in my team. I've also got Delita now at level 89, and he's actually pretty much maxed. So I'm just going to wait for the 30 September shards to max him. He's at 170 to get to that final limit break, so I can just do the slow burn on that one. Then I have a level 99 Gafgarian. I included him just to kind of show you what I have, and he is certainly powerful enough to swing with the big boys, but he is just a little too weak in terms of HP and his susceptibility to things for my liking. I also have a level 79 Lilith, and I wanted to include her. She's not that close to LB4 yet again, so not usable in a lot of aspects, but she has the Ranger ability Sharpshoot, and I've got Odin maxed on her, and she's got self-sacrifice maxed, and I find that she can one-shot any evade unit using Sharpshoot, and that makes her definitely someone to consider, especially when I can get her stats up, and I do need to get her stats up because she's an MR, that's all she has. So I wanted to include her in the discussion as well. So we can take a look at the team overall, and you can see my areas of development here that I'm definitely pretty good in the bruiser category. You could also kind of put Ramza in that category. My tanks is an area of need. My magic attackers, I think personally, is an area of need. My ranged is fine. My healers are fine. And I don't have any evade units. So we'll kind of take a look at what I need. So what's missing? Well, Balo wasn't listed, so there he is right there. I need a UR tank for sure. I don't have any water units that I've currently built. I don't have any evade units, and I've also lost a large portion of my free time playing the game, so that's counted as what's missing. So there's definitely multiple things that can be solved here by Agrius and Iridia, and we're going to go through each of them specifically to kind of decide on what we're going to do. So with Agrius, she is a UR tank. She can tank both magic and physical. She is relatively future-proof because there are people in Japan that are still using her to this day, and she's still very, very viable. So that's very good to know. And then also there's just a lot of wind units out, so she's good against them. She checks so many boxes for my account. The downside would be that she's limited, although there's so many shards. I'm going to wait for the news again for tonight to see if there's anything extra coming for Agrius. I'm going to miss her hard quest, but if I have 2 weeks left to be able to build her, then that is certainly a lot of time. Like that's going to be a lot. And what I would actually do for Agrius is I would probably just go to LB4 with her. So I would only need the 400 shards, and that is much more doable given my budget. So I think that this is definitely a very viable option for me. On the other side, there's Iridia, who is a water unit. She fills out my magic team. I think that she's more durable than Medina. She could be strong against Delita for sure, but she might be strong against Rain. Rain is strong against magic, but where I think she could be very interesting is with her Spellblade skills against magic units, and then building her to be strong against magic casters. I think there's definitely a build there that would be very fun. And the fact that she has instant cast times means that she's a great farmer, and she has very interesting PvP applications as well with instant casts and the AoE damage. So there's definitely a lot going for her as well, and I am a little bit of a snob in my mind. I think, oh, everyone's gonna have Agrius. We're gonna see Agrius forever. in PvP, so do I want to be one of the many or one of the few? And the smart choice is to be one of the many, but the snobby choice is to pull for Iridia and then be one of the few. So that's kind of where we're at. So we'll go back a couple slides here. We'll put them both back up on screen, and this is where you come in. So you have to sound off in the comments and let me know, what should I pull? And if you can say why, that would be super helpful to me as well. I need to make a decision by Wednesday. So this is Monday, August 31st, if that's right. And then on Wednesday, September 2nd, that's when I would want to pull for Agrius. I hope that there's a Vizier consumption bonus that releases for her. I don't know yet if Iridia is going to be out by then, but if she is, then I will also release my Should You Pull Iridia video, and you can take a look at that as well for more information on her. But if she doesn't release yet, then I can just actually save longer for her. She is not limited, so that's also another plus for pulling for her, is that I can spend my Vizier and then know that even if I pull her, I don't have to worry as much about shards, so that's definitely a plus as well. So let me know in the comments below, and you can also pop on Discord to let me know, and that Discord link is in the description for the video. So that's going to be it, and usually I say, is this video helpful for you? Well, I want to know, can you be helpful for me? So get in the comments, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/Mysidia Gaming. Until next time, keep it real, Mysidians.